All right, this one is more my style. I have a large yard. This thing looks badass. It is a beast of a machine. Obviously, it is much larger. All right, hey everyone, this is Nate, and this is the Nader Tater channel. I'm going to show you two brand new products from Segway Navimow, and these are robotic lawnmowers. I've tested over a dozen of them in 2025 on my yard. I have about 3.6 acres that I cut, and I have experienced many different ones. There are many pros and cons to all of them, and I'm pretty excited to see these new ones that Segway just came out with in 2026. So this video is going to be a quick unboxing showing what they come with them, and I hit on all the key specs. But I have to say one thing, it is not exactly mowing season for me here in Michigan, so there is no grass cutting with these just yet, but stay tuned for more on that soon. All right, so we look at these two ones. It's a Segway Navimow i2 series. This is the i210, and that means that it's all-wheel drive and it can do about a 1/4 acre of cuts. This is for a small yard. What's really cool about it is that it has a all-wheel drive system, but I really like it. I'll get into more details on that. It's a very unique one, and it's great for smaller yards. And then this other one that's much bigger is the Navimow X4 series. And this is the X450. The one I've tested in 2025 was a X390. It did really well, but it did have some drawbacks. This one looks like it hits on a bunch of my downsides of the X390. So we'll talk about this one. This one will do about 1.5 acres of cutting. Now they have very many models, including of the same ones that have slightly smaller batteries, so a little bit cheaper, and they do a little bit less acreage, so you can get the one that's right size for your specific yard. Let's unbox these and see what they look like. All right, so let's start with this i210 all-wheel drive series. Again, this is the smaller one. And what you see here is there's a VisionFence. So this is a camera set up here. This here is a little port that goes in when it goes to recharge. It automatically goes back to a stationary charge. All right, so right here on the top of the unit, big dial here, this is the manual adjustment for the blade height. So this one is very easy to set, but you do it manually. And it goes from 2 inches up to 3.6 inches of height of cutting. And then you can see a little screen here where you can power the unit on. You can tell it to do things like go back home or restart mowing. There's also the red emergency stop button that will stop it no matter what it's doing if you needed to. And then if we look at the side of the unit, you can see that the wheels are large, the tires are large, they're grippy knobs there. And then what makes this one special is the all-wheel drive system with this front wheel. So this front wheel, a lot of the other mowers that I've had last year, they have just a free caster system on the front. So they're just 2-wheel drive. And then the front casters can fall in a hole, they can get stuck up against concrete, and they don't help steer the unit, which is a downside. The upside of that caster is that it doesn't tear up the ground, because with just the 2 driven tires, they can do a tank steer and it's very soft on the yard. Whereas some other all-wheel drive units or tank units are more likely to damage the turf. But what I found about this one, I've only had one other one that had a driven front wheel like this, or actually this is the rear wheel on this unit, is that it turns powered and it drives. So it really is the best of both worlds, because you get zero-turn capability, but you also get traction and pushing assist here. So this one should be really good at not getting stuck. And then for gradability, as far as what sloping go up, they claim about 40% of a grade that this can go up. And what I really like about this one is that it's going to help on side slopes as well, because it's going to maintain that directional stability. It doesn't require just the 2 wheels to stay going side slope. This one will also help keep it there. And then down here, you can obviously see the little flywheel with these little razor blade discs that when they spin, they flip out. Now, this is pretty common on these robotic lawnmowers. And the reason for it is really because they're designed to be a maintenance machine. So does this design to go out and cut 6, 8 inch tall grass? No. The idea here is that you run this thing automatically every couple days, maybe every 3 days at most, depending on the conditions. Obviously, if it's high growing season, you might want to run it every day even. And the idea there is that it just maintains and cuts off a little bit of the grass every day and keeps it maintained. So that's why the razor blades do work well for that. But if the yard does get too long, these have problem cutting it because they don't have any lift capability. So that is something to know. But otherwise, this little unit is nice and simple. One thing to pay attention to is the cutting width. So this one obviously has a cutting width here that is not as wide as the machine, which means that you might have some overlap on the edge if you're not able to overlap. Like if I'm on my driveway, I can put the wheels on the concrete and, by several inches, and then the machine can cut all the way to the edge. But if I'm up against a building or something, you're going to have that couple inches here, 3 or so inches on this machine that it's not going to be able to cut because it can't trim all the way to the edge. And that's pretty typical of these machines. One of the features I really like about these is that it does not require a RTK GPS sensor to be set up. Now it includes it. They call this the EFLS, which is Exact Fusion Locating System. But this is actually not required on these new units because they use the Network RTK, which is I don't know if it's global, it's at least the US network system that it uses cellular connection to get its GPS location, and that's how it gets more accurate. And so by default, you can use that and you don't have to install this system. You can check in the app. It tells you if your location is good for that or not. If it's not that hard to install. You put this little pipe system here together like this. You snap this together. So you can just take this, it looks like a trident from The Little Mermaid, but you take this and you stag this into the ground, and then you screw this in here to the top, and that is what will give you a local GPS reference. But again, you don't have to use that most likely. For most places in the US, you should be covered without it. So that really means this thing is almost a drop and go. As you saw, I did basically no assembly to the unit. The only thing I think I had to put on was this little plastic top here, which just snapped on without any problem. And then obviously you got to plug up power. So it comes with a nice extension cord on the unit itself, and then you get a little power brick that is outdoor rated, so this can stay outside. You plug this into a wall outlet, and then you connect this together, and you're basically good to go. You download the app. This base station, you do want to have it kind of out in the open, at least not directly up against a wall, because you need to have signal for it to find this unit, and you want to have nothing on either side of it. It gives you that information in the directions right here in the book. And then you just simply screw this in to the ground with a couple plastic screws, super easy. And then it has some wire ties there to keep this stuff tidy and cleaned up for you. And then this unit just drives into here. It plugs in, it charges itself up. When it's mowing, it'll run about, I think, 1 hour and 10 minutes or something like that. And then it has to come back and charge for about the same amount of time. And it just keeps doing that in repeated cycles. So yes, it won't cut maybe all of the yard in under one charge, perhaps, but it comes back, it automatically recharges, and then goes back out where it stops. So that's the basic setup of this i210 all-wheel drive. Very excited to test this one out. Okay, on the drop and go feature, once this gets plugged in, you get it on the app, you get it charged up, you tell it to go, it has a feature where it's going to automatically map your yard. So especially if your yard is well defined, like let's say, if you have a yard that goes directly into the neighbor's yard without any barrier, then it won't work because it's going to just go map the neighbor's yard as well. But if your yard has either fencing or a driveway or, landscaping trees that confine it, you can hit go, and this thing will run itself around the perimeter of your yard, map it out automatically. You can go in there and manually map it as well. You can go in and add things like no-go zone. So if you have a flower bed or tree area that you want to map as a no-go, it will do that. But it also has the vision so it can see objects. So if it has something that is a ball or a kid or something that's in the yard, it can detect it and go around it automatically. But if you have stationary objects, you obviously can map them as a no-go zone so that it never tries to go into those areas. So we'll test that out once the snow melts and we'll see how it does. But let me get over to the bigger mower and see how it looks. All right, this one is more my style. I have a large yard. This thing looks badass. It is a beast of a machine. Obviously, it is much larger, and they quote 1.5 acres of coverage, but if I'm honest, I feel like they kind of underrate theirs, because if I look at most of the mowers out there, they rate their cutting capability based off either a 2 or 3 day window for them to go and cut. But for Navimow, they say this one cuts 1.5 acres in like 18 hours. So for most other machines, I think that would be like a 3-acre machine, because they would say, hey, you can cut it every 2 days if it runs every day, because there's no reason why it can't run every day with being a robot. So just take that for what it's worth. I'll obviously test it out and see how quick it is, but at first glance, I think it might actually be able to do more coverage than that, but perhaps I'm wrong there. So this one can also use the Network RTK as the smaller one, and that's a cool setup because you don't have to install anything on your property, but this one again does include it, and it looks like it's actually a little bit larger of a unit, this Exact Fusion locating system, so perhaps it's a little bit more powerful. And I think the size isn't about the GPS, it's actually about it sends a wireless signal out in your yard that this has to detect. So this would, cover more space, because obviously it's a 1.5 acre machine versus the 1/4 acre machine. So you'd want to put this somewhere ideally kind of centralized in the yard, or someplace where at least it gets far enough signal. And there are downsides to that. Like I said, it's the hassle of setting it up and getting in a good place. It does have a long extension cord for it if you need that, though. And then the base station, ironically, to me at least, is that the base station is smaller than the smaller units, because the whole machine doesn't have to drive on it, just the back half of it to get the power plugged in. And then this is a very similar setup to the smaller one, where you just put this in. It has a couple of plastic screw anchors to the ground. You want to keep it about 6 feet away from every obstacle on all sides of the base station, so that it gets good GPS signal when it's there. And this includes the same kind of accessories. This is a waterproof power adapter that you have to power up the base station. And then it comes with this accessory box that has everything you need for securing the base station down, as well as the optional RTK GPS sensor if you need it. The other thing I really like about this one is that it comes with 4 sets of blades. The smaller one, the i210, came with 1 set of these blade boxes. So this one looks like it's going to give you 4 sets of blades. So that for sure should cover you for a season. Normally on my other ones last year, I only replaced the blades about once in the season. So I used 2 sets for a full season here in Michigan. But back to this unit, this beast of a unit, what's really cool about it is that these tires steer. I don't think I can force them to steer, but these actually turn, and I think they're independently able to turn. And then this has suspension where if you lift it up and down, it actually articulates there, as well as the rear axle. The rear axle actually has a pivoting feature because it's a solid axle there. So this unit should be able to handle me. Obviously, with it being a larger unit, it's going to have to go over undulating terrain. This thing can do like 84% of a grade. So that is crazy. That's almost a full 45-degree slope that this can go on. And I believe it just looking at the size of this unit, the aggressiveness of these tires. But then what's really cool about this one, and I forgot to mention it on the smaller one, is Navimow actually has traction control and electronic stability control on their mowers. I don't think that I'm aware of that my other ones have had that, because I've definitely had some other mowers, especially 2-wheel drive ones, that will just sit there and be spinning one tire and not be able to move. So even an all-wheel drive one can get in situations where it has a tire that's sliding. This one obviously has electronic ability to stop that one wheel from spinning, send the power to another motor so that it can get out. So I'm really excited to see that, and that's why this one probably has that very impressive 84% slope ability. Now, if I look at this one, it has several cameras. The smaller one had 1 camera on the front. This one has that camera. It looks like it has a light as well. And then it has cameras here on both sides, kind of like a hammerhead shark on the side of the unit, so it can see out there. And then, all right, so there's no camera out on the back side, but like I said, it does have the ones on the front. And then up here on the top of the unit, it looks like it has, this is a water sensor. So not only does it have weather information for you, but this sensor here can detect if there's water on top of it. So if it rains, you can tell it. Now you can tell it to stay out in the rain. It will cut in the rain. It's waterproof and everything. But it normally does a worse job, or the grass is stickier. So if you don't want it to cut in the rain, you can tell it to go back home and wait until it dries out. And that's all the settings that you can do here. On the top of the unit, it's the same kind of buttons as the other one. You have a couple menu options. You can tell it to start, stop. There is a PIN code that you can lock the unit so that even if it were stolen, this is of no use to a person that steals it because it's locked in the app. It's connected to your account. You can track it with GPS so you know where it's at. And then you can also secure it with a PIN code, just prevent someone from messing with it as well. The front of the unit, this is a rubber bumper and it has a sensor. So if it were to hit something, it would detect that and it would obviously stop, but it also can use the vision to help prevent collisions as well. On this underside here, you can see it has 2 flywheels, and then those flywheels also have 2 layers of cutting discs. So it has both an upper and a lower cutting disc there. So it has a total of 6 blades per disc, so 12 blades total on this machine. And you can see it has some features here for combing the grass to get it all to face and get it to pick up so that it gets cut. This has the same kind of feature as the smaller one where it has the razor blades. You have the distance here between the side of the mower and that. So that's the one downside to most of these robotic mowers, is that they can't cut all the way to the side. But with this one, especially in my yard, I can be able to get this guy to drive up over all of my borders. Even I have like a concrete landscape border. This one's going to be powerful enough that it can drive up, put the tires on it, and cut it all the way to the edge. There'll only be very few places that I think I would have to get a trimmer out to trim with this machine. So very powerful machine. I'm super excited to get this thing out there and get it tested. All right, I do want to mention 2 key features that now came out with this unit. It's the industry first one that has turf safe all-wheel drive. So I mentioned about the different features of it, but the fact that it has all-wheel drive with steerable front axle and the traction control ESC means this one is designed to not tear up your yard like the other ones did. So that is really cool technology that they've come out with this one. And then the other key feature that Navimow developed for this specific X4 model is the momentum cutting system. And that is 3 times more efficient for those flywheels that I showed you earlier. Each one has a 180 watt motor, but they're very efficiently designed and they do a premium cut quality with this unit. This is obviously a premium unit. So that is something that is unique to this that they've developed. That's what you're getting with the brand new 2026 developments that they've come out with. So stay tuned for more content on these. I will be doing a lot of testing on these robotic mowers as well as other robot machines throughout the year. So do hit that like button. Consider subscribing. If you want to see more information about these, click the links down below. I will include where you get the best deal for these units and as well as other videos that you can see on similar devices.